MAGA fancies itself a big tent party, a big tent full of racists that are now fighting over which groups they can be racist about and which groups they can't. That's what we're dealing with. That's the governing party. And they have fed this xenophobia and this tribalism and these culture wars forever. And now it is erupting, and there is an all-out civil war in MAGA, and it is delicious. Grab your popcorn and enjoy the show. All right, pumps. First up, we have Vivek Ramaswamy. And you know that Vivek is a huge MAGA supporter, and he endorsed Trump and is of Indian descent and is Hindu. So Kylie, pop this up. Vivek Ramaswamy says, end identity politics. And here are the responses that he gets. End foreigners in American politics. Got a better chance of an Indian finding a toilet. Get the fuck out of my country. So this is what Pumps and I talk about a lot, listener. When you have the Kash Patels, who is a man of Indian descent in the heart of a racist political party, when you have the Scott Bessent, an out of the closet demon queen in the heart of a homophobic party, when you have Caroline Leavitt, a woman in the heart of a misogynist party, no one is safe. At some point, the knives will be at you. And the same thing is happening now for J.D. Vance, except for you would think that J.D. Vance would be joining the anti-racist movement because his wife is of Indian descent. She's Hindu and he has mixed race kids. But he seems to pile on every chance he can get. So pop up this next tweet. This is J.D. Vance's biggest political problem in 2028. How on earth is he going to get the MAGA base to accept her? And Pumps, as I showed you the hatred that Vivek got, nobody cared in the base because they fed breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks to this rabid base. They fed racism to them for so many years now that it doesn't matter that Vivek identifies as MAGA. He's still not safe from racism. And now people are identifying Usha as being a political liability for J.D. Vance. And I have to say, he feeds that narrative.
He does.
He acts like she's a political liability.
Well, I think in an interview, he said, I love my wife, but she can't help it that she's of Indian descent. I mean, it's like, that is so tepid. Like, you need to come out swinging at these people. But in terms of they will turn the knives on you, remember Vivek just went deep, deep into Trump. And the minute it was time for appointments and special privileges, he put Vivek under Elon Musk, and Elon Musk didn't even make it to the inauguration on the Doge committee.
You mean Vivek didn't make it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Vivek didn't make it because he had used him up. That's what he used him for. He didn't need him anymore. He was disposable. And MAGA is never going to accept Usha Vance because they're racists. They are fucking racist to the core.
Okay, and then here's another tweet with retweet of Vivek Ramaswamy. And so he tweeted a picture of himself with his kids and said, Happy Halloween. And then Dinesh D'Souza, this guy is this conspiracy theorist that makes the documentaries, is a total MAGA nut. He retweets this and he's trying to defend his fellow MAGA politician of Indian descent to the rabid racist base that they've all fed for years and years. He said, look at the abuse Vivek is getting for posting an innocuous photo with his boys. This is the shit show that Heritage and Tucker have brought upon us. If this continues, I would not be surprised to see mass deportations of Blacks, Latinos, other minorities from the GOP unreal. Leave this up here for a second. Ron Filipkowski responds to that and says, a shocking report that pervasive racism has been discovered in the Republican Party. But what's important here is Dinesh D'Souza is a full-blown big liar of the election of 2020. These people, both of these people, are knee deep into MAGA. And what they're finding out right now is that when you join a racist regime and you are marginalized or you are a minority, the knives that you enjoy being put at gay people, being put at Black people, being put at women, you're not safe from those same knives. At some point, they turn to you. And you might have noticed Dinesh D'Souza in that tweet is blaming Tucker, Nick Fuentes, and the Heritage Foundation. And that's what is at the epicenter of this civil war. And I want to remind you that Tucker and the Heritage Foundation were all chips in on MAGA. Mm-hmm. These are Trump supporters, okay? And so Ben Shapiro, and I want to remind you that Candace Owens used to work for him, had a fundraiser for Donald Trump. Ben Shapiro is a big Zionist. Ben Shapiro is big MAGA. He's a big conservative. Well, all of a sudden, the Zionist movement that when all chips in on Donald Trump is now meeting what is welcome in this tent, which are the true, real anti-Semites, not the people who speak out against the Israeli government, but I'm talking about anti-Semitism, pure, unadulterated Jew haters. And they're starting to realize, oh shit, we're doing this, but at a cost. Ben Shapiro put up this tweet. Ben Shapiro does a 41-minute video where he says no to the Groypers. And the Groypers are the supporters of Nick Fuentes, who is a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
Says it with his own words. I'm a neo-Nazi. I'm an anti-Semite. Fuck women, fuck Black people. Total white supremacist, right? So Ben Shapiro says no to the Groypers, no to the cowards like Tucker Carlson who normalize their trash, no to those who champion them, no to demoralization, no to bigotry and anti-meritocratic horseshit. Okay, leave this up, Kylie. Where he says no to cowards like Tucker who normalize their trash. Ben, you did a 41-minute video and didn't bring up Trump not one time. That is normalizing this trash. He is the leader who unleashed these people, mm-hmm. and Elon Musk with all this free speech and pro coup attempts and pro insurrection attempts. And remember when Kanks talked about they're good people on both sides?
Right.
Well, he was talking about anti-Semites that said Jews cannot replace us. But you saw that he could be manipulated so that Israel could get all the bombs it wanted. And so you have played with the wrong people. Wajahat Ali responds to this and says, this is your party and movement, Ben. You created it. You made millions off of hate. You unleashed these freaks on all of us, and now they've turned on you. Own it.
What a great response. And if you'll remember, in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, the immediate aftermath, it was Ben Shapiro will go and run Turning Point USA. Those were the reports. And you and I were immediately like, never going to fucking happen because they're racist and anti-Semitic. And sure enough, that was squelched very soon. So here's the thing. Like we say all the time, it doesn't make me happy that people are anti-Semitic and turning the knives on each other. But Ben Shapiro owns this. He owns this hatred. And I hate hatred and bigotry and racism and all that. I hate all of it. But he stoked it. He loved on it. He nestled it in his bosom. And now that he's the recipient of it, I hope that it will give him empathy and perspective. Am I holding my breath for that? Absolutely not. But this is who these people are. Donald Trump pardoned all of these white supremacists, Proud Boys, white supremacy groups. That's who these people are. You go to a Trump boat race, you see Make America Great Again flags and the Nazi swastika flags. That's who they are. And Ben, you are too smart or too stupid to know it, too arrogant or too smart. I don't know which one, but now you reap what you sow. And I mean, that's just where we are.
And it's just stunning to me that he goes on for 41 minutes and doesn't identify the cohesive culprit at the top of all of this bigotry that has created this big tent. And anti-Semitism has always had a home in the Republican Party. These Christian Zionist pumps that you and I grew up around, that your family is, evangelical Christians that believe that the Jews need to be in Israel for their apocalyptic dream to come true so that Jesus can come and then wipe them all out and send them to hell forever and ever, is inherently anti-Semitic. But you use that because you want the money for your wars. And the gig is kind of up right now. And when you partner with and arrive under a tent with real anti-Semites, and that's what the Heritage Foundation is. These are Christian nationalists, that the Jews are a prop for their apocalyptic dream. That's all it is. And when you're used as a prop and you're viewed as a prop, then your humanity is completely stripped. So Ben is not a credible messenger here. And this is what's got them all going pumps right here. So neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes has gotten uber popular. And he was really kind of passing Charlie Kirk in popularity. And he has these groypers. There was a case online. A lot of people felt like Tyler Robinson could have been radicalized by the groypers. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's this whole world, political underworld, that doesn't present on mainstream internet or mainstream news. It's all in these chat rooms, and it's kind of an underground, but it's millions and millions of followers. Here's neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes talking about how he is going to unleash the groypers on J.D. Vance if J.D. Vance runs for president in 2028. And get this, you guys, he links it to J.D. Vance kissing the ass of billionaires, which this is where we have real fucking problems right now. You have Zoran that links the ass kissing to billionaires as a destructive force. And he is going to have not be beholden to any corporation. He's going to fight for universal human rights. And then on the right, you have Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, and Marjorie Taylor Greene linking the billionaires' exploitation of the working class. But don't buy it for a second, you guys. These people are anti-Semites. These are the type of people that use all of the tropes. These are the people that cherry pick human rights whenever it is beneficial to them. They wear human rights like a pair of earrings. Right. And, oh, we're pro this today. And then they take them off when it doesn't go with their outfit. But listen to this, because there's an interesting Venn diagram right now that's going on both sides. And the attack on the rich seems to be a unifying thing in both parties. And so it's going to be important as we cover the news moving forward, Pumps, that we keep exposing the neo-Nazis doing this for grifting purposes and not for the purposes of supporting humanity. Okay, play this clip.
He's getting squeezed because the groypers are on the one hand saying, hey, listen, fat boy, we want America first. You want to run for president? We want to hear you say America first. And on the other side, he's got his donors, and they're saying they're horrible anti-Semites. You have to disavow them. You have to forcefully condemn them. Condemn Tucker. Condemn the groypers. Now, if Vance condemns the groypers, we are deploying to Iowa. Raise your right hand. I swear I'm going to move to Iowa and New Hampshire and Nevada and South Carolina and one primary after the next. And we will go to every town hall. We will go to every meet and greet where there's 4 or 5 people, and we will be there. And we'll do it for free. People will drive there for free, and they will follow Vance around and ask him, when will you put America first? Why would you condemn the young white men of America and sell out to our elites? We'll be there. We'll be in Iowa. We'll be in every primary and caucus state. So he doesn't want to condemn the Groypers.
So this is a really interesting development in the MAGA movement, because everybody is moving on from Kanks.
Yeah.
Everybody. You don't hear him bring up Donald Trump at all. He is irrelevant. He has the physical and mental manifestations of an irrelevant person. He is a lame duck, and he can talk all he wants to about running in 2028. But the base is moving on. Hell, Ben Shapiro didn't bring him up. And there you have Nick Fuentes. And he is talking about J.D. Vance, who they are identifying as the heir apparent to the MAGA cult. And that J.D. Vance is beholden to billionaires, which is 100% true. Mm-hmm. We all know he went to Peter Thiel's gay boot camp. Mm-hmm. And we all know that he has no problem kissing the ass of billionaires, and God only knows who else. And you heard it there at the end when he said young white men. Uh-huh. This guy is a real life neo-Nazi with massive followers who sat down with Tucker Carlson. And there's a whole nother group of people that want Tucker to be the heir apparent of the MAGA regime. So when Tucker sat down with the Groypers, it was viewed through these people jockeying for position as him inviting the Groypers into his tent. And that's why Ben Shapiro is freaking out, because the Groypers are anti-Semites. Tucker Carlson is an anti-Semite. He was calling out, Ted Cruz for his embarrassing support of Israel, et cetera. And some of these issues are so obvious, you guys, that it's not that they're making a good point. It's that oftentimes they agree with what the normal response to this stuff would be. It's not that they have, that they have found some sort of metamorphosis and have evolved. So when Tucker sat down with Nick Fuentes, everybody in the MAGA world pumps was like, how is this going to play? Well, the Heritage Foundation, these are the Project 2025 people. These are the people that are making America a Christian nationalist regime. These are the people that see Jews as props for the rapture. As crazy as that sounds, people fucking believe that shit. So here is the leader of the Heritage Foundation offering forgiveness and space for Tucker Carlson in his sit down with a neo-Nazi and giving it his blessing. And that's why they're all fucking going bananas. Play the clip.
I'll have more to say on this in the coming days. But today I want to be clear about one thing. Christians can critique the state of Israel without being anti-Semitic. And of course, anti-Semitism should be condemned. My loyalty as a Christian and as an American is to Christ first.
Okay, pause that really quick. This is where the Democrats are really fucking up. Support for this war criminal regime in Israel is low, particularly with the Democratic Party. And we're getting outflanked by bigots and anti-Semites right now. And here is an absolute white Christian nationalist, misogynist, handmaid tale sack of shit, leader of the Heritage Foundation, outflanking Democratic leadership by saying you can criticize the government of Israel without being anti-Semitic. I haven't heard Hakeem say that. I haven't heard Chuckles say that. And we are getting outflanked by these people that see the void, that see the political opportunity, and they are priming the soil right now, and they are planting seeds while Chuck Schumer is still twiddling his thumbs because he couldn't endorse a very popular Democratic candidate for mayor that won the primary. Okay, keep going.
When it serves the interests of the United States to cooperate with Israel and other allies, we should do so with partnerships on security, intelligence, and technology. But when it doesn't, conservatives should feel no obligation to reflexively support any foreign government, no matter how loud the pressure becomes from the globalist class or from their mouthpieces in Washington. The Heritage Foundation didn't become the intellectual backbone of the conservative movement by canceling our own people or policing the consciences of Christians. And we won't start doing that now. We don't take direction from comments on X, though we are grateful for the robust free speech debate. We also don't take direction from members or donors, though we are inherently grateful for their support. And we're adding more every day. This is the robust debate we invite with our colleagues, our movement friends, our members, and the American public. We will always defend truth.
Really?
We will always defend America, and we will always defend our friends against the slander of bad actors who serve someone else's agenda. That includes Tucker Carlson, who remains, and as I have said before, always will be a close friend of the Heritage Foundation. The venomous coalition attacking him are sowing division. Their attempt to cancel him will fail. Most importantly, the American people expect us to be focusing on our political adversaries on the left, not attacking our friends on the right. I disagree with, and even abhor, things that Nick Fuentes says. But canceling him is not the answer either. When we disagree with a person's thoughts and opinions, we challenge those ideas in debate. And we have seen success in this approach as we continue to dismantle the vile ideas of the left.
Okay. All right, listen, you guys, this is a tectonic shift in the Republican Party. And the Heritage Foundation is organized, ambitious, dangerous as fuck. You notice he didn't mention Trump in that video. Notice the irrelevance of Kanks, number one. Notice how everybody is gearing up for a post-Kanks America. Heritage has chosen Tucker as their heir apparent, and they see his rival as J.D. Vance. And you see that the anti-Semites are all coming together and exploiting a very low polling, justifiably, Israeli government led by war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu, and they are first to message here. And the Jewish people and organizations that supported a party that made space for anti-Semitism and is only just now calling it out are going to find out you're never safe when they throw other people under the bus. Even if it's who you think your enemy is, which is Muslims. Islamophobia is linked to anti-Semitism, is linked to racism, is linked to anti-immigration sentiments, is linked to sexism. All of these things are linked. And this civil war right here, Pumps, I cannot impress upon you and the viewer enough how massive this is with the post-Kanks Republican Party. And number one, I can say the Republican Party that we thought of, that's all gone. The base of the Republican Party is now these Christian nationalists. And Kevin Roberts has chosen Tucker, who is welcoming the Groypers because they see that as an organized voting bloc and exploiting the Benjamin Netanyahu government form of Israel, exploiting that. And Democratic leadership is again going to be 2 to 3 steps behind this because of their inability to speak clearly and cohesively about the wildly unpopular funding of this war where they are committing a genocide. And I just think these are, as much as Kanks drives us crazy, we've got to keep our eye on these fuckers too.
Yeah. That just chills sent through my body thinking about the Groypers being, brought in and hugged by the Heritage Foundation. But here's the thing. The Heritage Foundation has shown itself to be forward-thinking and astute. And it's just, the whole thing's chilling. And I just want to make one thing very, very clear. These people that are turning against the Israeli government aren't doing it because kids are being killed. They're not doing it because of genocide or ethnic cleansing. They're doing it for personal gain, full stop, and for what
And they're anti-Semitic.
They're anti-Semitic.
The core of anti-Semitism has been centuries old grudges that the Jews killed Jesus.
Right.
And that's been, around forever. And for those of you that do not live in religious flyover states, I'm telling you, evangelical Christians are the most anti-Semitic people I have ever met. The Jew jokes are nonstop. And so it is a very dangerous time. And I wish that Democratic leadership would really stand up, because anti-Semitism is very real. And it can obviously be every bit as devastating and dangerous as any other form of bigotry. And the Democratic leadership in the House and in the Senate, the leadership should be standing up and saying, we support Jewish people, and therefore we do not support a war criminal regime, just like we support the American people and we don't support this fascist regime. It's very simple, but instead they're getting outflanked by these psychos. And Pumps' point is spot on. They are not supporters of Palestinian kids. That's opportunism.
Yeah, they're not pro-life.
They're grifters. No,
they're not pro-life.
All right. Listen, that was a long episode, but this is something I think is so important. Support our show by buying our book. Pumps is modeling the book. Do it like you're reading it.
Oh. Jennifer said Angie is so much prettier and smarter than her. That's on page 98.
All right. Like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll be back later with more news. Keep an eye on this MAGA civil war. All right. Bye.